Okay, Chevra, here we go. We're speaking about being a chazan. We're speaking about leading tefillah. We're speaking about prayer. And Rav Nachman is telling us an amazing thing, that a person who sees the good, a person who sees the good in other people, a person who sees the good in himself, he takes all that good and he starts to unify that good. And he starts to bring more and more good together. And he starts unifying more and more good together. And that good joins up with him. And we said the person who is able to be a prayer leader, he's somebody who sees the good in the entire congregation. He's somebody who sees the good in every single person there, and he unifies it, he pulls it all together. That's called a chazan. A chazan means the one who sees, who has a vision of good in other people. And we want that. We want to be a chazan. We want to be someone who sees the good, is always looking for the good in other people. The hainu sheyispal lifnei ha'amud, that person could go up to the amud to daven. Ki hu yesh boi b'china zu, he has that quality. Hatzricha l'shliach tzibur ha'hagim be'emes, someone who's going to be a true chazan. Shetzarach sheyeh boi b'china sheyeh kol ha'nakudas toivos te'evim elav. And a person who sees the good will attract good. Good goes to good. When you see good in people, you start seeing good in the world, you start seeing good in yourself. And he's teaching us metaphysically that the good of other people will be drawn to you, and you're going to direct that good up to heaven. It's an amazing thing. He's somebody who's able to take all the good, even in the lowest, most sinful people. He sees good in them also. You know, how do you say the word congregation, community in Hebrew? A tzibur. A tzibur, right? A tzibur. A tzibur means the community, the congregation. So a shaliach tzibur is someone who is, like we explained, the representative of the tzibur. He's sent from all the good of the community. We explained also that a person who goes up to daven, forces away up there, and tries to make himself the prayer leader, but doesn't really see the good in other people, he's holding back good from the community because he's not seeing the good and he's not sending that good up to heaven. But the person who sees the good is able to gather the good and project that up straight to heaven. Tzibur, the word for community, is an acronym. Tzadi, Beis, Reish, Tzibur. Tzibur is an acronym for Tzadik, Tzadi, Beis, Beinani, and Reish, Rasha. Tzadik, Beinani, Rasha. Because a Tzibur is not just made up of, all the good guys, or average guys. At tzibur specifically, when you have tzaddikim, beinanim, and even Rashai, there always has to be a token, Moshe, the god of, the guy that's always stealing stuff. You always have to have the token, angry guy in the community. But we don't prevent you from coming to shul. Just because you have a guy who's a thief or he's an angry guy, you come to shul. You're all part of this. Everyone could come. Everyone's welcome in shul. Everyone comes to shul. So the job now is for the prayer leader is, how can I see the good in everybody? Even though you would say this guy always gets angry at people, he's always upset. Those people you just see and they're just like in a bad mood all the time. But he came to shul. Came to shul. So if you're the prayer leader, you have to look at everybody in the congregation to see all of their good and allow their good to get magnetized towards you because you see that good. You're going to gather all that good together and direct that good to Hashem. And Hashem is going to see all that good. This is part of the technology of prayer. And when Hashem sees all that good, He's going to flow down tremendous good into the world. And therefore it's up to us. We don't realize how big Shachris, Mincha, and Ma'ariv are. We think it's just like, I guess, time for Shachar is, Ma'ariv, I didn't know, okay, Ma'ariv. Mincha. you're bringing life into all of humanity when you daven. And the way that we're successful in that we bring big hashpais and good things, is by seeing the good. Hashem sees that good and we rain down the good. The last two parts of this Torah are very deep, and they almost have a different theme on the surface than the rest of the Torah. So here we go. Vidah. Whenever Rabbi Nachman says Vidah, it means that he's pulling this Torah down from the highest world of Atzilus. And Das means that I want you to connect to something very, very deep and allow it to penetrate your heart. Vidah doesn't just mean, and listen up and know the following. It means really I'm pulling down something very deep, something very profound, and I want you to integrate it into your heart. Vidah. Sheyesh b'chol dar v'dar roya. Every single generation, there exists a shepherd. A roya, a shepherd. You know what a shepherd is? Yeah? You ever guys ever want to be a shepherd? The first time I got to Israel, I saw these shepherds. I thought maybe I'll be a shepherd one day. Such a nice life. All the forefathers were shepherds. There's something very pure about being a shepherd. You get to hang out all day, you get a great tan. You're outside, vitamin D is good. And it's nice. Life is simple in many ways. Every generation there's something called a shepherd. Now that doesn't mean a shepherd like the Bedouin that you're going to see on their way towards the Dead Sea. It means, we're going to explain in a moment, the spiritual energy of a shepherd. Now, Moses and the forefathers were physically shepherds. King David was a shepherd. Rachel was a shepherdess. They were shepherds. They spent time outside taking care of the flock. But there's a deeper meaning about what it means to be a shepherd. So let's talk about being a shepherd a little bit. And it's interesting because every single thing in the Torah, if it's happening and it's being told to us from Hashem, means there's a very deep reason for it. The Torah would not have told us that the forefathers were shepherds if it had no meaning to us. So every generation, and Reb Nachman's telling you that every generation is a shepherd. V'hu bechinas Moshe. And this shepherd is the quality called Moses, called Moshe Rabbeinu. So every single generation is a shepherd, and this shepherd has the quality, has the spiritual energy of Moshe. Shehu Rai Mehemna. The Moshe Rabbeinu is called the faithful shepherd. Now, what does it mean that Moshe Rabbeinu is called the faithful shepherd? What does it mean to be a shepherd?
Well, takes care of people or animals.
So one thing we know about the shepherd is the shepherd's job is to take care of the flock. He's a leader. And if one of the flock get away, he's going to bring them all home. And he pastures the flock. He makes sure the flock is well and healthy. So there's something very important about the flock, that the shepherd essentially will do anything to take care of the flock. I want to read you a piece from the Zohar that happens to be from this week's Parashas Noach. You should know anytime that you learn, that you see in your Gemaras, in your Tanya Shir, in your Rabbi Nachman, whatever you're learning, that you see things come up that relate to the weekly Parsha, it's a good sign. It means that you're on the right track. So it happens to be in Parshas Noach in the Zohar, in page Samach Zayin, 67 Amud Beis, says the following thing about Moshe Rabbeinu. We're going to compare Moshe Rabbeinu to Noach. Tachazeh, come and see something. In the Gemara it says, Tashma, come and hear. But in the Zohar it says, Tachazeh, come and see. There's one thing to hear something. There's another thing to see something. So the language of the Zohar is always come and see it. It's going to be more vivid, more bright. Tachazeh, ma bein Moshe l'shar b'nei Alma. The Zohar asks the question, what's the difference between Moshe Rabbeinu and every other person in the world? The Zohar says, V'shaita da'amar le'kutsha b'richa l'Moshe v'ata ha'nicha li. At the time that Hashem said to Moshe that he shouldn't daven for Klal Yisrael. Ve'esa Yisrael l'goy gadol. Because you know what, Moshe? I want to erase humanity. This was after the golden calf. And I want to start humanity again with who? None other than you, Moshe. So what did Moshe say? Miyad Amar Moshe. Eshbog dina hoin di Yisrael begini. He says, you got to get that judgment off the Jewish people. If it's something for my good, I don't want it. I don't want it. If it's going to make a problem for the Jews, and they're going to be destroyed so I'm going to start humanity for me, forget about it. Hash de yemrim kol in b'nei alma the ana catalyst lonely Yisrael. You know, number one, the whole world is going to say that I killed the Jewish people. Why? Because they're all going to be destroyed and I'm going to be saved. So they're all going to say, oh look, Moshe, in the name of Moshe, all of Klal Yisrael is destroyed. So it's like I destroyed them. What's the proof? Says the Zohar, Kama de Avad Noach. Like what happened to Noach. You should know, this parasha Noach is very deep. It's very, very deep. And we can't take Noach on a surface level. Noach has many, many layers of who Noach was, what Noach really is. The Zohar says that Noach and Moshe Rabbeinu is the neshama of Noach. But what happened with Noach? What happened with Noach? Why is it like Noach, so to speak, killed the generation? Tikim the Amar le Kudshabrichu, the Shezev le B'tivusa, that he told Noach, Hashem said to Noach, you know, I'm going to kill the world and you're going to go into the teva. No, I'm going to destroy the world. I'm going to destroy everything out. All of the world's going to be wiped out. And I'm going to establish a covenant with you. And you're going to go into the ark. Came the Amar Lein, the Yishtaziv. When Hashem said to Noach, I'm going to destroy the world, did Noach daven? The Zohar is critical of Noach for not davening for the generation. He didn't daven. He didn't pray for the generation. He made an ark. He did whatever Hashem said. But you know, Reb Shlomo always says it in a very, very powerful way, which is Hashem is telling Noach, I want to destroy the world. So Shlomo says it like this. Imagine, God forbid, someone calls and he says, you know, I just want to let you know, my dear friend, that I'm thinking of ending my life. Chas v'shalom. Chas v'shalom. Shalom neda. That person who's calling, do you think they're trying to say that I want to end my life? No, they're trying to say, I want to stay alive. That's why I'm calling you. That's why I'm calling you. I want to be alive. I want to be alive. So when they told Noah, when Hashem is telling Noah, you know, Noah, I want to destroy the world. Did Hashem really want to do that? Or he's saying, Noah, I want you to make a movement. I'm going to go save the world. You got to make some moves here. So Noah says, of course, I'll make a teva. And for 120 years, he's building a teva. Why? That people should ask him, no, what's going on? What are you doing here? Oh, building an ark. Why? There's going to be a flood. Okay. Yeah, you got maybe you guys ulai. Maybe you should think about doing tshuva. Do you know how many people came back to Torah? Not even one. 120 years. Could you imagine from the year 1900 until today, someone building an ark? You know what's happened in the last 120 years? The year 1900, someone starts building an ark. For 120 years. And now Noah couldn't get one person? He couldn't make a little bit of a chassidish verbreng and a little tish, give it a few schnapps, get some stuff moving? 120 years? Noah's like, yeah, I'm just, building a teva. You're not davening? You think Hashem wants them to The deeper meaning is that Noach didn't believe that a person could really change, and he didn't believe that, who am I? How could I daven for another person? Could I really daven? Could I really affect change? Like we're going to see next week. That's why that we're not the children of Noach, we're the children of Avram. Because you know what Avram does? He davens for everybody. Even the biggest Rishayim. Sodom was a city of wicked people. And Avram Avinu is crying out, Hashem, please save them. Maybe there's 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, please Hashem, save them. What are you davening so much? These are a bunch of lowlifes. They're made in the image of God. You have to save them. You have to save them. And therefore what? Ubegin kan ikrin mei hamabel al shemei. The Zohar says, quoting from the pasuk in Yeshayahu, from the prophet Isaiah, that the flood is called the waters of Noah. The flood of Noah. What do you mean the flood of Noah? What did I do? I was building my ark. Kamadat Amar Ki Mei Noach. Mei Noach. What do you mean the flood of Noah? It should have been the flood of those wicked, evil people of the generation. You could have davened. Zoisli Asher Nishpati Bavor Mei Noach. Mei Noach. Amar Moshe Hashta Yemim B'nei Alma Da'am K'tilas Loin. So they called the destruction of the world in the name of Noach. Me, Moshe Rabbeinu, I can't do that. I can't do that. Hashta Tavli the Amos V'lo Yishtavu Yisrael. I'd rather die, Hashem. Says Moshe Rabbeinu. I love the Jews so much. I can't be responsible for them. Even if you're going to start humanity again with me, I'm not letting my people go. I'm not letting my Jews just go to destruction. Chas v'sholom. And miyad v'yachal Moshe p'nei Hashem elikav b'y rachman alai v'ito rachmi al alma. He's davening. Hashem starts bringing compassion. Now watch this. It gets crazy. Amar Rabbi Yitzchak sherusa deba rachmi alai Micah Amar. In the beginning, Moshe Rabbeinu had an interesting strategy. He was speaking to Hashem in the following way. It's describing Moshe Rabbeinu pleading to Hashem on behalf of the Jewish people. So he says, Lama Hashem yechra apcha be'amecha. Hashem, why are you so angry at the Jewish people? Now, Moshe Rabbeinu seems to be asking, like, why are you so angry? Like, almost ki'ilu kaviyachol overreacting. Like what? So the Zohar says, why? Ki mila da ech amar Moshe, how do you say why? The Torah itself says why. Moshe was like, Hashem, why are you so angry? Is that what does lam mean? Why? Like, Hashem's like, Moshe, I want to start the world with you. I'm going to destroy the Jewish people. Why? Why are you so upset at them? Says the Zohar, they served the Avodah Zarah. That's what the Torah says. That's kind of bad. Cheta Egel, golden calf. Golden calf. That was wasn't so great on that one. So Moshe is saying, but why? So the Zohar says something nice. It says, man de miratza la'achra loy boy l'nevad hal chayva rav liyazer le'kameh. When a person, let's say you have a guy, you have two guys, and one guy was like yelling at the other guy. It was really embarrassing in public. So you're the third guy. You want to go over to the guy that got embarrassed. So when you go over to the guy that got embarrassed and you want to try and make peace between them, do you go over to the guy that got embarrassed and say, oh, what that guy did to you was so horrible, was so nasty? No, you go over and you say, it was bad, but he probably was having a bad day. You try and lessen it. You try and lessen, and it helps him see, maybe it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. And what happens when you go to the guy that did the horrible yelling? You tell him, are you crazy? You know how bad that was that you did? So Moshe Rabbeinu goes to Hashem and it's like, Lama, the Jews, there's other reasons, there's other stuff going on. But when Moshe goes to the Jewish people, he says, are you guys crazy? You've done such a crazy bad thing. And he's trying to get people to make a move. But that strategy didn't work. Hashem said, I'm not going to stop the destruction of the Jewish people because of that. What is the methodology? add, the only thing that saved it, the Masa Garme Lamoisa. Moshe Rabbeinu said, Tichsi va'ata im tisa chatasam, and now, if you would but forgive their Aveira. Hashem, if only you do that, and if you don't, you erase me. You erase me from the Torah. I don't want to pardon the Torah. Moshe Rabbeinu said, I'm going to give my life. I'm giving up my life for the Jewish people. Because if they're going, and they're getting erased, I don't want to pardon this. Mecheni is the letters Mem, Ches, Nun, Yud. Mecheni, Mei, Noach. Mei, Noach. From here, the Arizal says that Noah, the soul of Noah, was reincarnated in Moshe because Noah did not daven for the generation, and therefore he had a pagam in the soul, and he had to fix something, and it was called against him because he didn't daven for the generation. He wasn't willing to give up his life for the generation. His soul gets reincarnated in the soul of Moshe Rabbeinu, who does exactly what Noah was missing, and he davens for the generation and says to the degree, I'm willing to give up my life for Klal Yisrael. And at that, Hashem says, V'noyach, and for that it says, V'yinochem Hashem al hara, I forgive you. I forgive you. This is what it means that Rav Nachman is saying, every generation there's a Moshe, there's a Roy Naaman, a faithful shepherd, because he completely gives his life up for the Klal. Means he sees the Klal, he sees the community is so good. Remember, all of Reish Pei Beis is seeing the good as so good that he'll be willing to do anything, even give up his life for the good of Klal Yisrael, the good of the entirety of the Jewish people. This is this Roya Naaman that is Moshe Rabbeinu, and tomorrow we're going to have to understand the next point that Rav Nachman makes. This type of a faithful shepherd is somebody who's able to build a sanctuary, who's able to build things. A person who can see the good, he's the one that should go build a shul. He should build a sanctuary for Hashem. How all that ties in, we shall continue tomorrow. Yesher Koyach Rabbeisai.